welcome back to the Black Sheep Podcast. Here with episode 7. It's been a while. Sorry for the delay. It's been scheduling conflicts all over. But yeah, episode 7. Back at it. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on all our socials. We see you guys watching the videos. If you could subscribe, that would help a lot because we're getting way more views than we are subscribers. So let's pump those numbers up. And then if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, leave a review. Let us know what you think. Again, thank you. Shout out to Jim Bob's Grizzly Beard Care, always supporting us. See him back there. Again, personal friend of mine. Go check them out. So we'll get right into this. How you doing today, Ty?
Doing great. Over here chilling in the dark. How's life over there?
Hey, I'm chilling in the light. Other than Jags crushing me every Sunday, we're pretty good over here. It's
That's
almost
a big
wrestling
dark
season,
cloud.
so yeah. Oh my gosh, big dark cloud. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we had some since we've last recorded. I'm taking my glasses off. There's a glare. Since we've last recorded, there's some big things that happened in the sports world. This episode, we are going to talk about LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers winning the NBA championship. Dak Prescott had a nasty injury. He's in a contract year. We're going to talk about that. We've already talked about the Jags. It's about time for me to give up on them and talk about Gardner Minshew. I was his biggest supporter, but he's not it. So we're going to talk about that as well. And if anything else pops up. So stay tuned. First off, LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers knocked off the Miami Heat in 6 games. Jimmy Butler tried to make it interesting. It wasn't happening. Game 6 was a blowout. You could have turned it off in the first quarter. But that's big. That's big news. LeBron get number 4.
Cemented his legacy as the GOAT. The greatest of all time.
It.
Hey.
So there's a lot that goes into this for sure.
4 rings, 3 different franchises. I know a lot of people will say that he jumped to the winning teams just to get those, but I'm impressed. Getting 3 finals MVPs with 3 different teams is impressive. I don't care how much you want to hate on LeBron. All he needs is a basketball.
We've had this discussion. We have it all the time. It gets funny. And, it's even if you aren't a LeBron believer that he's the GOAT, that debate is getting harder and harder to fight against. I personally think if LeBron gets number 5, it's game over. I think you still have arguments now. You can't ignore the 6 finals losses. It's impressive that he's been there 10 times, but it's also a big, ugly number that's there. So that's one of the arguments. That's all the arguments against it. But if he gets 5, I think he doesn't need to reach 6. There's more people who have more than 6. Jordan's just that perfect 6-0, so it looks real pretty over there.
If he doesn't get 5 next year, he won't get 5, in my opinion.
No, I'm right there with you. He'll be 36 next year.
I think he's got one good year of being able to carry and compete as the best player on the team with AD. But after this, I mean, it's hard to bet against LeBron falling off because he has been the longest prime of any basketball player in NBA history. But you just got to think Father Time's undefeated. It's going to hit him eventually, right?
Father Time is undefeated. We've seen it in every other sport out there. Wayne Gretzky. You're seeing it in the NFL this year with Drew Brees and Tom Brady. It's a cliff, and it comes fast.
Can you see LeBron out there at 40 playing like he is now?
No, not at 40.
Yeah, it's just hard to think.
Hard to see it now, but yeah.
Can you imagine LeBron falling off to the point where he has to come off the bench? I just don't think he can do that. Like Vince Carter
he's gonna quit before that. I had this theory when he joined the Lakers because the contract lined up perfectly. He was just going there. It lines up to when Bronny graduates high school. By then, it'll be no more one and done. It'll be straight from high school. So I wonder if we'll be able to see a Bronny Daddy NBA tandem like the Griffies or something.
I just don't think that Bronny's going to make the NBA, honestly. Unless he hits a big growth spurt, he doesn't have the skill to make the NBA off just what he is right now.
But he's a 6'2"
average
sophomore.
Shooter. Yeah, he's going to have to hit that growth.
He's going to grow.
Just think of what LeBron was as a sophomore, though. Zion.
That's not fair.
It's like I just don't see it. I don't know if he's going to make it.
Who was it? Well, Gordon Hayward didn't hit 6'9" until like senior year. He was the same with Anthony Davis. He was a point guard as a freshman and a sophomore.
There's definitely some late bloomers, but what I saw, somebody was talking about Bronny's projected to be 6'6", which if he hits that, he has a good skill set, but we're going to have to see that 6'6". I just think a 6'2", there's no way. But it would be cool to see him and LeBron on the same team. I don't know
LeBron
if
can
they
be
would
like a
win
player's
anything,
coach at
but
that point. Yeah.
right. Yeah. So this is cool, but we're not going to win many games.
Yeah, that's just one of those stupid theories. It'd be cool to see. I don't think anybody's ever done that. Oh, I know nobody's ever done it in the NBA. Baseball is really like the only sport that can happen. But yeah, so that was big news there. Random, but for people who are listening, we're shortening episodes here. So we're going to shoot for like half an hour versus our hour long that we've been doing. I know it's just a random thought in the middle of this LeBron experiment we're talking about, but had to put that out there. Then going off of them, going to the other big star, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys. They look terrible this year. Got even worse with Dak. What was it? A compound fracture in his ankle. So compound fracture means the bone is out of the skin. So this dude, and if you watch the video, it's kind of gross. He tried to push his ankle back in until the trainer got over there.
Tough to watch.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough. So we want to discuss contract implications. What do you think this does to Dak and the Cowboys?
I don't see him going back to Dallas. I think that even though he played horribly last night, that Andy Dalton is just average enough to get them to the playoffs in that division. And I think Jerry kind of uses that as, we can get to the playoffs with Andy Dalton. I'm sure we can find somebody else that we don't have to pay 45 mil, 40 mil a year to. So, and coming off that injury, you don't know if he's going to be the same. So I just don't see how Dak ends up back in Dallas.
Yeah, when it first happened, I thought the same thing, that he's for sure done. They have zero incentive to sign him now. He's coming off a devastating injury. Don't know how he's going to react when people start falling around him again. I mean, Dak's, again, people get mad when you talk about that, about his contract now that they don't have to pay him because he's hurt. Dak's an awesome dude. He's been through more than most can imagine. Lost his mom, lost his brother over the summer, opens up about his mental health. I mean, this is a tough dude. He's an awesome guy to root for, but he's an average to maybe above average quarterback in the NFL. So the number he was asking for was already kind of like, no way we're going to give this to Dak Prescott. But then it was like, now we're really not. But if the Cowboys keep looking like they did last night with Andy Dalton at QB, I think Jerry Jones is going to rush to that checkbook to try to get Dak Prescott back in there.
Yeah, if they don't win the division with how bad the division is this year, I mean, I think their only competition would be the Eagles. If the Eagles can play like they did in the second half against the Ravens. But if they don't win that division, that's going to be rough, and they're going to have no choice but to pay Dak.
Yeah, that's exactly what. I mean, you can't let somebody walk like that if you don't win this division, where the division winner is probably going to have 7 wins, if that. And Dak, they were losing with Dak, but Dak was at least making it competitive, where Andy Dalton just kind of rolled over, it seemed like. I mean, Dak's getting 500 yards a game. Andy's barely touching 2. So we'll see if that continues with Andy Dalton. Bengals fans love to jump on that primetime Andy take.
My way too early prediction for where Dak lands is going to be, I think he's going to be a Denver Bronco.
You think they're done with Drew Lock already?
Yeah, which I'd hate to see, but Denver loves scooping up quarterbacks. They scooped up Flacco after Peyton. They just think if they get a vet that they'll be able to compete. So I can see John Elway throwing a bag at Dak.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I got a different one for you. Las Vegas. John Gruden loves those smart, tough quarterbacks. Dak's a yes man. He's going to do what John Gruden says. He's coming from Dallas. He's a star going to Vegas.
So we
Got
both think
weapons
he's going
around
to
him,
the
a good
AFC
offensive
West.
line. Yeah. I see the Raiders is a really good fit.
Hey, if Carr plays like he did against the Chiefs and the Raiders celebrate that Super Bowl, you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Carson, he's coming up on the end of his deal too, and the word is Gruden doesn't like him, so we'll see how that one goes. And then,
of course, he played the best game of his career. I've been trash talking this man all season, and he comes to Kansas City and just wants to throw the ball deep for some reason.
you
It's all
did.
good.
So, if you guys haven't been following us on social media, we at Black Sheep have this thing called the Noodle Club. So, Drew Brees, proud recipient. I think he's our only recipient right now of a member
Brady's
of
on the fringe. Tom Brady's knocking on the door.
Yeah, Brady's trying to get his membership going in there. But Derek Carr was a member, and then the Chiefs happened, and he kind of threw his membership out the window. So
I never thought he had a noodle. It's just like ever since that injury, he's scared to hold onto the ball and go deep. It seems like he has a strong-ish arm. He's not one of the stronger arms, but he has enough arm to get it out there. But it's just been check down, check down, check down.
Yeah.
But now, oh man, it's all bad. I can't wait till the Raiders game next time in Vegas, Sunday Night Football. I can't wait.
If you guys have any other suggestions for the Noodle Club, let us know. We'll keep making the graphic bigger and the club bigger. Somebody needs to join Drew Brees.
Yeah, he's lonely out here.
Well, I think I got somebody that can join that club.
Here we go.
RIP to my takes over the summer and at the beginning of this podcast. I had high hopes. We're 6 weeks in, and they've all been but shattered. I'm all in on the tank for Trevor train now. People kept telling me over summer. I said, no way. Jags going to win 6. Gardner Minshew's the guy.
Got me to believe it.
Yep, I did. I got a lot of people to buy in. But, again, no, it's. I'm going to be mad if we win more than one game now. And Gardner, I am sorry, buddy. I cut my jeans into some jorts. I think that jinxed you, man. You aren't it. I'm sorry. I was, again, like Gardner started out the year hot. Week 3, you wouldn't have told me that. I don't think Gardner's it, but that Miami game happened, and then it just started piling up. And then last game at the Detroit Lions, there was just some awful throws where you're like, okay, this is where it's nice to have a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen. Even somebody like Russell Wilson doesn't have a cannon for an arm, but he can launch it deep. And it's just not happening with Gardner. He just has too many limitations. He gets jumpy in the pocket. It's tank for Trevor time in old Duval County.
I've told you several times it's just not going to work out for you because the Jets are not winning a game.
Yeah, so we do a thing called Skunk of the Week. And, yeah, I think that's a permanent recipient is the Jets because I know they scare me. They're going to go 0-16.
They have maybe the worst team in football just on a roster standpoint, not even on the field. And now they're looking to fire sale. So they traded away, I forget his name, but there's their captain, defensive tackle, traded him to Tampa. So I just don't see how they're going to – it looks like they're all in on the tank. They said everybody's available except for Becton.
Did you see that funny story on that lineman that they traded?
No.
So
he drove right after the game?
Yeah, they pulled him from the game for obvious reasons. Then they traded him. And, yeah, he drove straight there after the game. He didn't even go home or nothing.
He wasn't waiting around.
He said, I'm getting out of here. So it makes you wonder. So everybody talks about, like, firing coaches and getting them out of there. Like, why haven't they fired Gase? Jags fans, Doug Marrone straight up. Jags fans are calling for the head of the defensive coordinator. And Doug Marrone comes out and says, as long as I'm the coach, he's safe. And for obvious reasons, fans are like, well, what the heck? Why won't he get fired? And it's almost like I know, like, football players are never in on this tanking thing. They're too competitive. But I think the front office is all in because that's the only way that you can explain Adam Gase still having a job after ruining Sam Darnold and Doug Marrone, his defensive coordinator. He's given up 30 points in every game this year, and he still has a job. It's crazy, and it looks like it's full tank mode. It's going to be a race between the Jags and the Jets.
Yeah, I still got the Jags winning 3 games. I don't think they see it, but Trey Lance could help them too.
Oh, so anybody who again follows me on social media knows I am a big Trey Lance believer, but that was before I thought we were out on Trevor. So I keep watching Trevor, and I'm like, it's Trevor or bust. The dude just does some things. You're just like, wow, this dude's gonna be good right away. I don't know if he's gonna win. What's up?
Just wait till that Notre Dame game. And he throws 3 picks and loses. You're gonna be like, oh man, Gardner, you're the guy. You're gonna be on here with jorts and a bandana.
I don't think so. The fact that you think that that's going to happen is kind of hilarious. But I mean, he might throw a pick. Trevor still is. He's a college kid. He's still prone to bad passes, and Notre Dame's got a really good defense. But I think I told you. I think it's
2
going to be
2 pick sixes.
I think Notre Dame will be lucky to be in the game in the second quarter.
That's the only way we win is 2 pick sixes. You heard it here first.
What day is that? November 1st? I think is when that game is.
It's a few weeks. It's pretty close. And I'll be MIA on Twitter that day.
Oh my gosh.
That day.
Big Ten's coming back this week, so that's exciting. We get to get our first look at Justin Fields. Yeah, this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Big Ten slate opens up with Ohio State and Nebraska.
I don't know if that's something to evaluate Fields on, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So we'll get into a couple storylines for the NFL this week. First off, Thursday opens up with, we thought the Dolphins and Jags were the toilet bowl. Have you seen this Thursday night matchup?
Eagles, Giants?
Oh, yeah. Should be a real barn burner.
Carson Wentz party. Come out party. He's going to go off.
He did pretty good last game. He almost brought him back.
Yeah. Except Doug Peterson wanted to call a read option with Carson Wentz. He thought he had Lamar for a second. Just a slight brain lapse.
So I'm trying to look through here, and I'm trying to find a skunk of the week right here. I don't think I'm seeing one. I actually do have one. Chargers over Jags. Both teams have one win, yet the Chargers are an 8-point favorite. This here's my skunk of the week. It's going to be Justin Herbert's going to go for 300 plus.
I'm going Chiefs over Broncos. Skunk of the week.
That's a good one too. That's another one I was looking at. Even I don't know. Bills Jets is probably going to get pretty ugly.
Yeah. Speaking of the Chiefs, how about that Le'Veon Bell signing?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they use him. We've talked about it. Clyde's been holding his own for the most part. He's got 2 big games and some average game stones in there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they split the carries because they're kind of the same back. It's not like Le'Veon Bell's a big back or Clyde's a scat. So they're kind of the same style. So it'll be interesting. Le'Veon Bell's obviously the vet. He's got softer hands. You can put him out in the slot.
If the Chiefs get this running game going, they're going to be very, very hard to beat. It's no longer going to be scored in 3 seconds, 3 minutes, and you get the ball back and a chance to score. If they can get this run game going like they did last night, it doesn't even have to be as good as last night. Obviously, last night probably isn't going to happen again. Clyde going for, 167, something like that?
Yeah.
But if they can get that run game consistent, in the games that we have struggled a little bit, it's been under 50 for Clyde. So I think Bell, a lot of people are high on Clyde, so they don't want to bring in Bell to mess with his touches, I guess. But if you get 2016, 2017 Le'Veon Bell, whenever he was with the Steelers, you don't even need that. You just need like 70% of that. If he can be 70% of the player he was in Pittsburgh, that Chiefs offense is just getting even scarier than it was. And with Andy Reid back there, I expect fully – I know you disagree, but I expect fully to see two halfback formations, maybe motion Bell to the slot, run plays off that, things like that. I just think they're definitely going to get Bell a lot of touches. I don't
So
think he
my
would
whole
come to
reasoning,
Kansas City without talking to Reed and knowing he's going to get touches.
yeah, for sure. My whole thing was the Chiefs like to run 3 and 4 wide. Obviously, Travis Kelce being one of them. And you put Bell on the field, you're taking out a meek hole. But that was also before they played the Bills, where they didn't even care to get them on the field like that. So I don't know if that was conditions dictated that because it was a little messy. It was rainy outside.
That's playoff football.
Yeah, absolutely. So it makes you wonder how they're going to evolve from that spread everybody out, use our speed to, yeah, we want two running backs on the field.
We didn't discuss this, but did you watch the game at all last night?
Oh,
Chiefs?
absolutely. Yeah, I watched most of it.
Did you see the drive when they were down? They were up 6, I believe, and Chiefs got the ball back, and Mahomes let them down on that long drive to get the field goal to ice the game.
No, I didn't see that.
Well, it's
I was
like
tuned out by then.
usually I'm a Chiefs fan, so we haven't had the best quarterbacks, and I always watch these teams like Russell Wilson, Tom Brady. They get on the field, they need a drive to close it, and they do that, or they need a drive to win it, they do that. Since we've got Mahomes, I couldn't tell you one game where he's had the ball with 2 minutes left and it wasn't a good outcome. The poise that he has under 2 minutes in the fourth is unreal. It's just like every time he gets a chance to win the game or tie the game, he does it. Obviously, he's not undefeated, so there are times he loses, but I don't think there's been a time in the last 2 minutes he's thrown a pick or anything. You say, oh, he choked. I can't remember one game like that. So it's pretty impressive what he's doing at 25 to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, maybe the best in crunch time.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's going to be fun to watch as we get older, what he's going to look like as that team evolves around him because he's going to be there a long time. So people are going to get old. People are going to move on. It'll be nice to watch Mahomes develop there. Sneaky good game of the week, one that was rescheduled due to poor management by the Titans. Titans Steelers, both 5-0. We're skeptical of both teams on how they might actually be. So this is their first test for both
that
of
as the
them.
most overhyped game of the week.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You don't get. There's only 3 undefeated teams left, and this is 2 of them.
Their schedule is just all fluff, man. They haven't beat anybody good.
I mean, the Browns were supposed to be the real deal.
Who they beat?
The Steelers handled them.
The Ravens made them look bad. I think they scored 6 on the Ravens, and what did they score on the Steelers? 7.
Yeah.
So it hasn't looked good for them when they play actual competition. I know they beat the Colts, and everybody was impressed with that, but I'm sorry, I'm just not impressed when you beat Phillip Rivers. Now, Titans, that's where we argue a lot because
I'm
you
a
think
firm believer in
Tannehill's
the
top
Titans.
5, and I'm not worried about Tannehill at all. Before the season started, I did say the Steelers would have a chance to win that division. I think I picked them to win that division. But, I mean, the power rankings come out week 6, week 7, whatever, and the Steelers are number 1. I just don't see how that's possible. How you can watch the Steelers and go, oh, yeah, they're the number 1 team in the league for sure.
So no matter who wins this game, it's not going to change your perception of them?
If it's a blowout one way or the other, maybe. But if it's a close game, it's just two stinkers, 2 overrated stinkers.
Could we? I don't know. That's tough. I don't think. So my whole thing, I picked the Steelers to win that division too, or at least get second. But that was on Big Ben coming back and looking like he was really good, and he hasn't been.
Super average.
That defense looks really good, so it makes you wonder how much this team can really rely on the offense right now. But the Titans, I'm all in. Tannehill,
Titans schedule.
He might not be explosive, but he's efficient. He's doing what the Titans need him to do. He can get you 300. or he can give you 100 and let Derrick Henry run for 300. So it's really, I mean, that offense just seems like it's balanced. There's many ways to attack it, and that defense isn't something to sleep on. They lost Taylor Lewan. I know nobody in the NFL world was sad about that one, but it does hurt their offense.
That's
So
really big for their offense. But speaking of the Titans, they have beat the Juggernaut Broncos by 2, 16-14.
I think they are all by one score.
They beat the great Jaguars by 3. The Jaguars put up 30 on them. They beat the Vikings by 1, 30-31. And they beat the Bills pretty handily, 16-42.
Oh, yeah, that was the only game. So that's a common opponent between
They beat the Texans in overtime. I don't know, man. Texans are a common opponent, too. We blew them out of the water. Took them overtime. I don't know. They got the Steelers next, so we'll see there. And then they play the Bengals. And they play the Bears. That could be a good game. So, and then they play the Ravens later on in the year. So we'll see if they're for real or not. It's just right now, I'm not going to go out on that ledge and say they'll be in the AFC Championship game. My sleeper for the AFC Championship game, I know you hate it, is the Chiefs and the Patriots. The Patriots scare me more than any AFC team right now.
They just came off a big old stinker.
I know, but Cam's had one practice in 2 weeks or whatever. I would be more worried. It's not even the Patriots roster or quarterback. It's just the coach. I think he's the only coach that could beat Mahomes in the playoffs, but I could be wrong. So I'll keep my mouth shut on that.
I don't know, man. Vrabel is doing some little things here and there that are pretty amazing.
He's smart. Very smart.
It makes you wonder. He's definitely a top 5 coach in the NFL, in my opinion. I think you got Bill, Andy.
Top 5 coaches off the dome.
Top 5 coaches off the dome. Let's do it. Number 1, I think we agree. Bill
Start 5.
Okay, 5.
I'm gonna go with. Dang, this is hard. Go ahead. I'm still thinking.
Kyle Shanahan.
Okay, I'll go with Mike Tomlin.
Oh, dang, I messed up already. All right, number 4. I gotta go Vrabel.
I'm gonna go with. Let's see. I'll go. What's the Bills coach, McDermott?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go McDermott.
Number 3, Mike Tomlin.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. Oh man, this is tough. Pete Carroll.
I know, I missed him. That's why I said I messed up when I did Shanahan. All right, number 2 and number 1, I think we're the same. Maybe not. Maybe you'll surprise me. Number 2 is Andy Reid.
Yeah, I got Andy.
And then Belichick's number 1.
Yep.
I hate that too. He's so good.
Yeah, he's such an asshole though.
I know, that's what makes you hate him. Like Andy's so likable. He knows his brand. He's a fat dude and he says he loves cheeseburgers. But he's an awesome coach. Belichick's just like a tool bag. He's really smart.
After the game, they were like, so does Cam having one practice affect things or anything like that? And most coaches would say, oh, it's da-da-da-da. They give a reasoning or why it is or why it isn't. I don't know. It's like, that's why I hope this dude goes like 6-10. You can't be an asshole when you're 6-10.
Yeah.
You can, but it won't look as good as when you're winning.
Yeah, exactly. That's Patricia. And Detroit.
That's getting rough out there. He's gone soon.
Hey, he got a good dub on Sunday, so had that defense looking elite. Asterisk. So I think we're gonna call it there. That'll be our episode. We have some stuff coming up, big things in the works. You may or may not have some big names coming on. We're trying to pull some stuff together. I have a scouting episode that I want to drop here soon. Just going over some big name college guys. We'll bring in some people, talk about that. And yeah, hopefully we got some big stuff coming. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Sorry for the delay in these episodes. It's been kind of crazy. We'll try to get more consistent. And your boy's working on some editing skills, so you might see more than just our pretty faces.
Add some gunshots.
Yeah, might get some graphics on screen. So we'll see what happens. But hey, thank you guys. We'll be back with Black Sheep Podcast. Thank you. Peace.